Welcome to Citing Right, a unit that will show you how to correctly cite the sources you use most frequently, books and websites. In Module 3, we will learn how to create a reference list in APA style. This module will answer 4 essential questions. First, what are some reference list basics? Second, what information do I need? Third, when should I use a reference list? And fourth, how do I format a reference list? Essential question number 1 is, what are some reference list basics? The reference list appears at the end of your paper. It should begin on a new page. The title of the page is References. Entries should be alphabetized by the last name of the first author. The entries use a hanging indent. That means the first line of each entry is even with the left margin, and all other lines are indented 1/2 inch from the left margin. When referring to books, articles, or web pages, capitalize only the first letter of the first word of a title and subtitle, the first word after a colon or a dash in the title, and proper nouns. APA style capitalizes titles the same way sentences use capitalization. Longer works, like books, are italicized. Entries are double-spaced. Here is a sample reference list. Notice the title, how the entries are arranged in alphabetical order, the hanging indent, and how the entries are double-spaced. Essential question number 2 is, what information do I need? Remember the resource information sheet? The resource information sheet helps you remember the information you will need for in-text citations and the reference list. You will have all the information you need for the reference list if you completed all the information on the resource information sheet while you were using the resource. If not, then you'll have to find the resource again to get the information. Essential question number 3 is, when should I use a reference list? As we discussed in Module 2, anytime you use a direct quotation from a resource, and anytime you use paraphrased information from a resource, you must use an in-text citation. If you have used an in-text citation, then you must have an entry for that resource in the reference list. Essential question number 4 is, how do I format the reference list? For a book by one author, you start with the author's last name followed by a comma. This is followed by the initial of the author's first name followed by a period. If the author has a middle name, the initial of the middle name is also entered followed by a period. The year of publication comes next and is enclosed in parentheses. A period is placed after the closed parenthesis mark. This is followed by the title of the book. Remember that titles of books are italicized. The title of the book is followed by a period. The city where the book was published is followed by a comma, and the state where the book was published is followed by a colon. The publisher of the book comes last. The entry ends with a period. The punctuation and order in which the information is entered is important. Here is an example of an entry for mythology by Edith Hamilton. Consult one of the publications or websites in the resources section of Citing Right if your resource is a book with more than one author. These resources include 2 books by the American Psychological Association, the Publication Manual of the American Psychological Association, 6th edition, and Mastering APA Style, Student Workbook and Training Guide, 6th edition. 3 websites provide excellent information for correctly formatting a reference list: APA Quick Answers, References, APA Style Blog, and Purdue Online Writing Lab, OWL. These resources will provide you with the formatting information you need. Sometimes a website does not list an author or publication date. When that happens, start with the title of the web page followed by a period. The letters N period D period, enclosed in parenthesis, stand for no date. The parenthesis is followed by a period. Then write the word retrieved, followed by the date you retrieved the information from the website. Write the word from, followed by the URL of the website. There is no period at the end of the entry. Here is an example for a web page titled The Trojan War on the History.com website. To format a reference entry for a document from a website, start with the last name of the author followed by a comma. This is followed by the initial of the author's first name followed by a period. If the author has a middle name, the initial of the middle name is also entered followed by a period. The year of publication comes next and is enclosed in parentheses. A period is placed after the closed parenthesis mark. The title of the web page comes next, followed by the words retrieved from. Then write the complete URL of the website. There is no period at the end of the entry. Here is an example for an article in Archaeology, an online publication of the Archaeological Institute of America. The title of the article is Was There a Trojan War? It was written by Manfred Kaufman and published in the May-June 2004 issue. It's time to practice these new skills. In Exercise 4, you will use the resource information sheets for the books and websites from Exercise 3 to complete a reference list. It's time to get started with Exercise 4. After you submit Exercise 4, you may begin the review summary by clicking the link to Review Summary. Remember, while you can work through the modules at your own pace, all activities must be completed by the post-test due date.